Hey guys, Madison here, back for another Film Friday, and this week I am checking out another Western, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. I've kind of unofficially decided to do one Western per month, so I think I'm going to kick off each month doing a new Western film that I have not seen. So I got really excited when I saw the cast for this one. John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, Lee Van Cleef. I was like, sign me up, I am interested. I have only seen one John Wayne film before. I have seen The Searchers, really enjoyed it. And obviously I've seen Jimmy Stewart in some things here on the channel, like Rear Window and It's a Wonderful Life. I really enjoy him a lot. So when I found out that he had done some Westerns, I was like, obviously I have to watch these, right? So I'm really excited. Quick reminder before I get into this week's reaction, especially since it's going to be a bunch of you Western fans watching this week, I have written a Western novel called Gone Outlaw, and it is now available for pre-order on Amazon. So click the link in the description below and it'll take you to the pre-order page. You can see the plot summary there and any other info you might be interested in. Also, I wanted to say a huge thank you to you guys for 19,000 subs. Thank you so much for closing in on that 20K milestone. I am so excited. Let's keep on pushing. I can't wait to get to 20K. So we're gonna have to do something special when I hit 20K. Feel free to offer any suggestions of what you guys might be interested in for 20K. Another like Q&A thing, or I don't know, anything, any ideas you guys might have. Because I do want to do a special celebration for 20K like I did for 10K. So ideas are welcome. Thank you guys again so much. And without further ado, let's check out The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. That's a short train. Shin bone, I love it.
Thank you, Jason. On time.
You bet.
Link apple, yeah.
My buckboard's right over there. Here now. Jason, give me that box.
You knew all the time they were coming. You know. Well, now that's the first time in your life you ever kept a secret.
What's the senator doing
Hi,
here?
Lydia. This is Charlie Hasbrook. Emergency. Hey, Senator. Senator Stoddard? Ma'am? I wonder, could you give me an interview?
Founder, publisher, editor-in-chief of the Shinbone Star once fired me.
Well, my editor will sure fire me if I don't get this interview.
Hold on, Miss Scott. Now, who am I giving this interview to? You or this young fella here? Who asked me first, by the way?
I notice you're not wearing the star. You knew where I wanted to go, didn't you?
Well, you said you wanted to see the cactus blossoms. Blossoms all around it.
No, there's no mystery. I'm here to go to a funeral.
Funeral?
Oh, there's my good wife. I've enjoyed the visit, gentlemen.
They're all very confused. Did this man die a long time ago? In which case there would not be a funeral happening.
Ransom Stoddard and Miss Hallie. Well, gosh, Senator, I didn't think that... Link, why didn't you let me know they was a-coming?
So he did just die.
Pompey? Pompey, I'm sorry.
So this must be John Wayne's character, right? The guy in the coffin?
Where are his boots?
Well, I thought... well, they was an awful nice pair of boots, almost brand new. And I thought...
Put his boots on, Clute.
Sir, I don't wish to intrude. To know why you came all the way down here to bury a man.
He was a friend, Mr. Scott. And we'd like to be left alone.
That's not enough. I have a right to
Journalist.
have the story.
Yes, I guess maybe I have.
What has she got in that box?
Of course, this story not only concerns me. Old Pompey in there, Link, they were part of it. Could be the same one. Oberlin say, I think it is the same one. Oh, I declare. I had taken Horace Greeley's advice literally. Go west, young man, go west.
Throw down that cash box. Now! All right, get the passengers out of the coach. Looks like slim passenger pickings, but lift their wallets anyway. Now, what kind of man are you, dude?
Dude.
I'm an attorney at law.
Get him out of here!
Oh, that would hurt.
Here, put that stuff in here and get to your horses. Hurry. What? Law? Lawyer, huh?
Come on, let's get out of here.
Good grief. He's a mean son of a gun. For those who don't know, dude meant like city dweller back then, which is pretty funny how it's just not at all used that way now. It's just like, hey dude, hey bro. Used to be kind of an insult.
Hallie! Hallie! Wake up, gal.
5:30 in the morning. What's the matter with you?
We've got a man down here ambushed. Ambushed.
Well, don't stand there gossiping. Get him inside. Pompey!
Well, don't be too gentle now.
Tom, he's hurt real bad.
Well, Pompey, looks like we got ourselves a ladies' man. Nora, sorry to bust in on you like this. What's trouble?
Such a beating. Drink this.
Yeah, coffee. And aquavit, that Swedish brandy, that's good for you.
Oh, no, I don't care. What'd you say his name was? The man with the silver-knobbed whip?
I said Liberty Valance.
I want to kill him. I want to put him in jail.
Oh, out here a man settles his own problems.
But the only advice you can give to me is to carry a gun. Well, I'm a lawyer. Ransom Stoddard, attorney at law.
Liberty Valance? Do you think I'm crazy? Now, Tom, let me out of here.
Allie seems to think he's right. You better listen. He's a lawyer, you know.
I dang well should have known nothing would happen when you came in here.
What?
Now go on, get out of here, you big old fat water buffalo. Get out of here. We got work to do.
You can forget what I said about buying the gun. You're a tenderfoot. Liberty Valance, the toughest man south of the picket wire.
I feel like that might not have been scripted. That falling off. It was kind of like, oh, just keep going.
Mr. Peabody.
Evening, Marshal.
No.
With having someone like Liberty Valance in the area, they needed a better marshal.
Did you know that Liberty Valance is in town tonight?
Good evening now. Well, Saturday night, Mr. Peabody, better get your order in early before those drunks come in howling from across the street.
Allie.
Well, what are you going to have to eat?
The usual.
Steak, beans, potatoes, and deep dish apple pie.
Nora, Peter, come here. I want you to hear this. Get the book. Now, that place right here where it says, under the law of this territory, Hallie, you read it out loud. I got Liberty Valance just exactly where I want it. You mean you can't read it all?
No.
I could teach you.
What for? What good has reading and writing done you? Look at you.
You go sit down, eat your supper before come the drunks.
I'm not finished here.
Go sit down, eat.
I love Nora.
I was wrong the other
Marshal
day.
with an
I
E.
was reading up a territorial law, and there it is, right there. Now, I'll draw up the complaint, take care of all the legal details, so the next time he sets foot in this town, you arrest him.
What was that? Arrest who?
Liberty Valance.
Just when I was starting to get my appetite back.
Do you think I could? I mean, grown up and all. Do you think I could learn to read?
Why, sure you can, Hallie.
Well,
Allie, can I have just one more steak?
My gosh.
one steak on the cuff.
You're interrupting the moment, Marshal.
Did you hear the news? No. Rance is going to learn me to read and write.
Teach me to read and write.
Teach me to read and write.
Ransom Stoddard, attorney at law. You put that thing up, you'll have to defend it with a gun. And you ain't exactly the type.
Mighty nice girl, that Hallie. Mighty pretty.
Just told her so.
What? Do I hear wedding bells?
He's gonna wait so long, she's gonna fall for ransom. I don't know about this. Uh-oh. Oh, that's Lee Big Leaf right there.
Well, these steaks look done just right for us. Well, are you? Especially after all the lying things I hear folks been saying about Liberty Valance. Looking at the new waitress.
That's my steak, Valance.
You heard him, dude.
No. Pilgrim, hold it. I said you, Valance. My boy Pompey, the kitchen door. I said you, Liberty. You pick it up.
Now! It's picked up!
Show's over for now.
This man is a terror. Marshall, I think you have jurisdiction.
It was the gun that scared him off. Pompey's gun, your gun, Tom. Nobody fights my battles!
Rance, I'm sorry.
Peter, I'm not in the habit of eating my steak off the floor.
You decide to stick around, and I'll let you hang this thing outside the newspaper office, rent-free, for as long as it lasts.
No. No.
Well, of course.
Thank you.
Why not?
He's regretting making that offer.
Goodbye, Tom.
List of voters for you.
8
There are
pounds.
37
Pretty
new
sizable.
registrations over last year. Did you write this, Mr. Peabody?
Yeah?
Well, this is great. Wow, that's quite a turnout this morning. It seems like we have more new pupils every day. Morning, Marshall.
Morning, Rance.
How are you feeling this morning?
Just fine, fine, fine.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, N, T, U, V, W, X.
LMNOP is one letter. It's just, you always blur them all together. LMNOP.
None of us in here smoke, Mr. Crothers. Thank you. For those of you who have just started, would you tell the class what you learned about the United States?
And if the big shots in Washington don't do like we vote, we don't vote for them, by golly, no more.
Anymore.
Anymore.
It begun with the words, we hold these truths to be
self-evident.
Let him alone, Charlie.
The good editor here has written some noble words, and you read them good, too good. But if you put that paper out, the streets of Shinbone are going to be running with blood.
Class dismissed.
Valance and his men crossed the river yesterday, killed a couple of sodbusters. Old man Holiday and his son. Well, they'll be here, all right. Tomorrow or the next day, according to how much Who Hit John they consume.
What I do and where I go is none of your business. You don't own me.
That's right. He just told her to go back in the kitchen. Oh my goodness. I would agree with that statement. Education is the basis of law and order.
You go find Tom and make it up to him. He's only trying to protect you.
I love her. I can really empathize with her, you know?
Better let him go, Hallie. Well, he's gonna need all the practice he can get. He's been going out in the country twice a week, practicing.
Tom! Tom Donovan!
Well, all right, Tom. What are you trying to tell me?
I'm telling you that Hallie's my girl.
I'm not bluffing about anything. Wait a minute, Tom. What?
Pompey?
Oh,
You got to cock it first.
I forgot.
That's it, that first post.
There?
That's right. Pilgrim!
Why would you do that? Now that paint is never going to come out. Now he has to buy a new suit.
He's almost as fast as I am. Since our legal authority closed the bar on us, Ransom Stoddard, attorney at law, come up here and run this meeting for us.
Give me a drink, will you?
Bar's closed.
Just a beer.
The bar's
A
closed.
beer's not drinking.
You know the issue. The cattle interest want to keep this territory an open range. We'll proceed with the nominations. I'd like to nominate a man who I think is the only man in Shinbone who has the right qualifications to lead us in our fight for statehood. I nominate Tom Donovan.
Because I refuse the nomination.
Tom, you can't refuse now. You've already been nominated.
Because I got other plans.
You don't come from south of the Pickaware, Valance. You got no vote here.
I live where I hang my hat.
Come on, move!
Well, Hashlinger, what are you standing there looking so high and mighty about?
He's running this here meeting, or hadn't you heard?
Say your piece like I told you.
I nominate Liberty Valance for delegate.
I second the nomination.
Move the nomination to be closed.
Liberty Valance, address unknown.
Have I got a right
I
to
thought he
speak in this
didn't live
place?
in this area.
I'm your conscience. I'm the still small voice that thunders in the night. I'm your watchdog that howls against the wolves. I'm...
Ransom Stoddard as delegate. Raise your hands.
Aye!
All those in favor of Liberty Valance, raise your hands.
Awkward.
All those in favor of Dutton Peabody, raise your hand.
You got a choice, dishwasher. Either you get out of town, or tonight you be out in that street alone. You be there.
See, my prediction is that, Tom's gonna save Rance and kill Liberty Valance, but maybe they're trying to fake me out and Rance actually pulls it off. But he's so unpracticed. I don't know.
Liberty Valance defeated. D-E-F-E-E-T-E-D.
Bad idea to be writing the paper when you're drunk. What could go wrong?
Don't do that, Mr. Peabody. What are you doing out here? Don't you know that everybody is supposed to get off the street?
All I can hear when this man is talking is Piglet. Did he play Piglet in Winnie the Pooh? I need to know.
But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then we summon up.
That was an incredible shot. Not Peabody. Someone stop this man. He's the worst. No. He's not dead.
Mr. Peabody. Liberty Valance. About the freedom of the press.
You tell Liberty Valance I'll be outside.
Pompey!
Miss Hallie?
Pompey, where's Mr. Tom?
Down the road a Peaceway and high.
Get him quick! Rance is out front with a gun. Hurry!
Yes, ma'am. What you did to Mr. Peabody, ain't that enough?
Ain't that enough what, Mr. Marshall?
You all know that Rance Stoddard couldn't shoot the hat off his own head with the gun right in his hand. If you gun him down, it'll just be pure murder.
Well, if Valance is drunk, he won't be able to shoot straight.
Well, Mr. Professor, I thought you left town. What are you doing out here?
I'm waiting for Liberty Valance.
Slinger, you out here?
I'd say that was Liberty Valance there now.
Get out of that shadow, dude.
got two hands, eye slinger. Pick it up.
This time, right between the eyes.
Liberty! Liberty! Liberty!
Did Tom just shoot him and everyone thought it was Rance?
Hey, Tom! Tom! Liberty!
Dead.
Rance. If it had been you instead of Valance.
Oh, no, Hallie.
Oh, he might. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me.
You got yourself out of that fix real handy.
He totally did it.
And a man gonna drink around this town in peace.
Marshal!
That me, Link Appleyard, run you out of town. And I'll do it again if you ever come back.
Be merry! Sing!
He's mad because he knows Hallie loves Rance.
Mr. Tom!
The horses, Bobby. The horses.
So that's what happened to his house.
Railroad station there leads straight to Washington.
Oh.
This session of the Territorial Convention is hereby declared open.
I came here with a carefully prepared speech. But this is no time for oratory. I come before you to place in nomination the name of a man more qualified than any other. I nominate for the territorial delegate to the Congress of the United States, the Right Honorable Custis Buck Langhorne.
Now that you got your rope on him, hang the horse thief!
That's so over the top. Pretty horse, though.
Whose only claim to the office is that he killed a man.
Do you call Liberty Valance a man?
Who is this ransom Stoddard? And what qualifications has he that entitle him to aspire to such great office?
We need to shut this guy up. He's prattled on too long.
The function of both judge and jury, and takes the law into his own hands.
Oh, please.
If we send him with bloodstained
Oh my
hands,
gosh.
Where are you going?
I'm going home, Tom. I'm going back east where I belong.
Besides, you didn't kill Liberty Valance.
What?
Think back, Pilgrim.
I knew it.
Tom, why did you do it? Why?
Cold-blooded murder. But I can live with it. Hallie's happy. Hallie's your girl. Go on back in there and take that nomination. You taught her how to read and write. Now give her something to read and write about.
I became the first governor.
3 terms as governor, 2 terms in the Senate.
Ambassador to the court of St. James?
Well, you're not going to use this story, Mr. Scott?
No, sir. When the legend becomes fact, print the legend.
It's getting late, Helen.
Wow.
I sort of have a hankering to come back here to live.
If you knew how often I dreamed of it. My roots are here. Yes, let's come back.
And for going to all this trouble.
You think nothing of it. Nothing's too good for the man who shot Liberty Valance.
So that was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed that. Oh my gosh, that line just has me shook from the end where it was like, print the legend, you know, don't worry about the facts. When the legend becomes fact, print the legend. It's just like, because that is so true of so much of the Old West history that has survived. You hear the legend first and you hear all these exaggerations, and then you really have to dig to find the facts. And even then, a lot of times you can't find all the facts because things have become so shrouded in myth and legend. And I think, you know, it's also true that there's a lot of truth in legends. Like, a lot of times the legend starts for a reason, but some legends are completely off the mark of what actually happened. And it's just really interesting to hear that addressed in such an early Western too, not the earliest of the early Westerns, but 1962. Early considering how Westerns have evolved and changed over the years. There's been a movement, there was a movement towards more authenticity and gritty realism as the decades went on. Although I think it's interesting because the farther you go back, the more it's like the exaggerated legends and the gunslinging cowboy. Like, things are less realistic, right? And then there was the move in Western films and series toward the gritty, dark realism, or just more realism. Getting more of the facts straight, not exaggerating like the gun accuracy so much and twirling the gun and all that kind of over the top stuff, right? But now, like, today, I feel like we're like a pendulum always. Humanity's like a pendulum. It's like one extreme and then you kind of get back in the middle and then you swing back the other direction. I feel like right now the pendulum has swung to where it's almost exaggerated how bad it was back then. Like, to where it's just in today's Westerns, or a lot of the series today, it's just complete and total depravity, complete and total inhumanity. Like, everyone or most characters are portrayed like Liberty Valance. Violent, evil, ruthless, don't care about other people, no standards. I mean, just, it's swung too far the other way. I'm going off totally on a tangent here, but there is a happy medium, because there were a lot of incredible people back in that day and in that time, and there were a lot of awful people. There were a lot of brutal people and a lot of very classy, well-educated people. It's just, I think a lot of the diversity and a lot of truth is being lost again in trying to show how bad it was back then. And I think it was like any other time in history where you have great people and you have really bad people. And you have stories of epic heroism and you have stories of terrible villainy. So I don't want there to ever be a loss of the complexity of how it really was back then, just how things are very complex today, and they always have been very complex, no matter what time period you're looking at. But to get back to this film, I loved that theme being addressed, where it's like Rance got the credit for this and he built a platform off of it. Not really by choice, he didn't want the power and didn't want the fame, but he built his reputation off of this, this deed that he did not even do, takes the credit for it because he believed he did it, and felt the guilt for it, and he didn't even do it. It was actually Tom. And it's just interesting how Rance goes on to do all these things, get in this position of power, governor, senator, and Tom kind of fades into obscurity. Very, very interesting. I think that, again, that happens a lot in history where someone gets the credit for something or someone is blamed for something. Someone gets the credit for something they didn't do and it was actually someone else, or someone gets blamed for something and it was actually someone else. So that was a very, very intriguing theme. Gosh, I just really enjoyed that. I mean, John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart, whew, that was awesome. I really enjoyed John Wayne in that film, a very different character than he was in The Searchers, but he always just has that cool, calm cowboy swagger, right? He's always John Wayne. And it was really heartbreaking seeing, you know, he's a tough guy, so he doesn't really show that his feelings are hurt. But he clearly loves Hallie. He realizes that she loves Rance, right? He really took it like a man, honestly, because he could have, like, thrown his weight around. He could have really, I mean, he was mean to Rance, like when he shot the paint can and stuff, but he recognized she loved Rance. He could have pulled a Gaston and tried to, like, force her to marry him, right? But he didn't. He took it like a man. He was like, all right, she loves someone else, so I'm gonna move out of the way and let them be together. And the only time we really see him break down and show all that emotion is when he burned that part of the house, which was really a powerful scene. I really loved that scene. It's always really powerful when you have, like, such a tough, stoic character really just kind of break down and show a lot of emotion like that and just explode after kind of holding that in for so long. And then he shows up and is the motivation to push Rance across the threshold to become the politician because Rance is ready to walk away. And that's really the kind of person who is worthy of being in a position of power, is the person who doesn't want it. I think not to get political, but our problem today is too many of the politicians want to be politicians. They want the power and the money and all of that, and it's really the people who don't want the power, who don't want that position, who are most worthy to be in that position because they're not power hungry and that's not their focus. I really, really enjoyed that. And it's, you know, Hallie is like, it was once a wilderness out here and now it's a garden. So that's interesting. And that usually in Westerns, there's a tension between civilization and the wild, basically. Society versus savagery. And a lot of times the lead characters are the cowboys or the wild people who are all about the freedom, and they are not fans of society and civilization. They're kind of butting heads and they're in contrast with that. The railroad's coming, you know, it's a negative thing. But with her, she really appreciated that and wanted that level of civilization because she was tired of people like Liberty Valance just going around doing whatever he wanted, and just abusing people, basically. So she had a craving for that. She wanted to learn how to read and write, and she wanted a garden, and not just cactuses. She wanted real flowers, you know. I really liked her character. I could empathize with her goal, like wanting to be educated and wanting to be able to read. I mean, she was just a great character. I loved the romance between her and Rance. That was great. I really enjoyed all the supporting characters as well, and it's funny seeing Lee Van Cleef not being at the forefront, like he's just a kind of a background character in this movie. Out of the ordinary for me to see him like that, but he did a great job even in that. Oh, that was just such a fun and thought-provoking movie. I really, really enjoyed it, so thank you guys so much for voting for it on the poll this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you want to see the full-length version, head on over to my Patreon, patreon.com/MadisonKTeams, and you can find that and all of my other full-length reactions there. And I will see you guys next week for another Film Friday. Bye, guys.